Hello everybody, this is Johns Hopkins with Baltimore Heritage, and we're back with another of our 5-Minute Histories videos. And today I'm at the Downtown Sailing Center. We're here in Locust Point, and the idea is, with our friends from the Sailing Center, we're going to get on a boat and head out to Seagirt Marine Terminal and take a look at the terminal from the water. We did this a few months ago and went out to Fort Carroll, and it was a success. We did not end up wet at the bottom of the Patapsco River. We came back dry, so we're going to push our luck and try for 2 times in a row. Before we get on the boat though, let me say a few words about the Port of Baltimore. The Seagirt Marine Terminal is part of that, and also turn it over to 2 of our friends from the Downtown Sailing Center to say a few words about what they're doing. Let's start our story in 1706. That's when the colonial Maryland General Assembly authorized the creation of the port. The idea was to ship tobacco out of it. That never really worked. In 1729, the General Assembly created Baltimore town to help the port along. That also kind of didn't work, but by about 1750, the port was really going, shipping out flour. And along the way, the port got, over the last 300 years along the way, the port's got a lot of improvements. It started out with dredging of the channel. In the 1780s, newfangled dredges by the Ellicott brothers that gave us Ellicott City were dredging a channel. And then also lighthouses. By about the 1820s, we got our first string of lighthouses at the North Point Range. They helped ships stay in this channel. And over those 300 years, we have brought in all sorts of stuff and shipped out all sorts of stuff. We've brought in tea and porcelain from China in our early days, furniture from England, sugar from the Caribbean. We've sent out lots of stuff as well, everything from straw hats to men's suits, from whiskey all the way up to artwork shipping out of the Port of Baltimore. Today I'm going to wrap up. There are 5 different terminals, main terminals that make up the port. Seagirt's one of them, but the Dundalk Marine Terminal, the Fairfield Automobile Terminal, and the North Locust Point and South Locust Point Terminal make up our port today. And by far our biggest thing that we move here are cars. Over 700,000 on average a year, a really impressive amount. All right, I'm going to stop now and turn it over to Tony Stevens, who is the Executive Director of the Downtown Sailing Center, to say a few words. And then we're going to also turn it over to Elizabeth Trung, who is our skipper for the day, as well as a longtime Downtown Sailing Center member. All right, we'll see you on the other side.
Hi everybody, I'm Tony Stevens, the Executive Director for the Downtown Sailing Center. Thanks so much, Johns, for coming out to our docks today. We're excited to have you here, and you know, it's at the Downtown Sailing Center, our main focus is sailing for everyone. It's all about inclusion. I got involved as a volunteer years ago through the Adaptive Sailing Program. We have a whole fleet of boats that are adapted for people with disabilities. I myself am a blind sailor, and it's really got me in love with the passion for sailing. You can't find a better place, I believe, in the country to really sail than Baltimore Harbor. It is a real living port, right? And it's exciting that we all coexist. There's recreation, there's leisure, at the same time that there's, you know, freight ships, and you got to stay on guard, but it's a fantastic place to sail. It's a wonderful place to get involved and volunteer. We love working with community partners and hope that maybe you'll get a chance to come down and check us out down in Locust Point.
Hi everybody. My name is Elizabeth Trung, and I'm here today at the Downtown Sailing Center. I'm the skipper for today. Hopefully I'll be able to get Johns out to Seagirt and back without dumping him into the Baltimore Harbor. I'm here to echo some things that our Executive Director, Tony Stevens, said. You know, one really important principle that we have here at the DSC is inclusivity. And, you know, traditionally, sailing hasn't really included a lot of faces like mine. But if you come to the DSC, you're going to see people from very many diverse backgrounds of all ages and abilities. And so I would love it if you came down here and sailed with us. Recently, a friend of mine reached out to the community and said she was ready to skipper boats here. The community responded, men and women responded by saying, hey, Ursula, come on out in the boat with me. And she achieved her sailing goal. And I talked to her just a couple of days ago and I said, this is wonderful news. What's the first thing you're going to do? How are you excited about being a skipper? And she said, well, what I'm really excited about is that now I can give back and volunteer in the Women on the Water to help other women be sailors and skippers. And so that's what we're about at the DSC. It's helping each other become stronger and more inclusive and fun community of sailing.
All right, so we made it. We're dry. We are out here, I think, technically on the mouth of the Patapsco River, but it is wide. The channel is 50 feet deep, and it feels like we're in the middle of the bay. And behind us, of course, is Seagirt Terminal. If you have looked at those cranes from a car on Boston Street and thought that they were big, when you are out on a little boat bobbing up and down next to them, they are ginormous. And in fact, they are ginormous. They're Panamax cranes. They're built to load and unload the biggest of the big ships that go through the Panama Canal now. And they were installed about 10 years ago to give a revitalization boost to the Port of Baltimore, help keep us competitive with other ports like Norfolk. And amazingly, those 7 cranes, I believe, can load and unload 1.5 million steel containers, what they're doing right now every year. One issue we have, though, is what to do with those containers they get put onto trains and trucks. On trains nowadays, though, they get double stacked, one on top of another. And some of our older tunnels, like the Howard Street Tunnel in Baltimore, aren't tall enough to handle that. So we're in the process of digging those deeper to be able to accommodate even more train traffic. All right, I'm going to leave with one thought. If you have wondered what was here before Seagirt, Seagirt came in 1990. What was here before Seagirt? The answer is water. Seagirt is built on top of the dredge material that was taken from the bottom of the bay while building the Fort McHenry Tunnel. All right, I am going to stop now. We're going to put our film equipment, which is my daughter's old iPhone 7, we're going to put that back in a Ziploc bag and hope we make it back to the Downtown Sailing Center dry. We'll see you back on shore.